Everybody, happy Tuesday. I hope you're doing well. So today I want to talk about willingness, right? Willingness is huge in trading. I think it's probably true for a lot of things in life. So when I was coming up, I realized, how do I have to differentiate myself from the pack? Because the business is very, very competitive, and it's really competitive on a multifaceted basis. Performance is just one part of how competitive it is. When you look at the folks who earn money in a 2 and 20 type of a structure, or any type of arrangement, whether it's prop trading or hedge fund style things where there's a 2 and 20, meaning 2% management fee, 20% incentive fee, and any variation on that, the competition for those assets is very strong, because you can't earn the 2 and 20 if you have a zero balance of money that's under your discretion, right? Now, that money usually would come to you under an arrangement where the client gives you third-party trading authorization for money that could already be in a clearing member's account. It could be a broker-dealer, FCM, or both. Sometimes those places are concurrently registered, and they give you third-party trading authorization. Your client agreement stipulates what the fees are, how they're calculated, and then how you can charge them. And if you're smart, in your client agreement, you'll also have a stipulation that says, I don't need you to sign an invoice in order for me to get my money. As long as we do the calculation correctly, I can submit the invoice to the clearing member, and they're going to send me the money directly from the account. Trust me when I tell you that's what you want. You don't want to have to be trading, making people money, and then have to hunt them down for money that at that point that's rightfully yours. In fact, I remember when I was younger, I wouldn't even sign if a client didn't initial that part of the client agreement, we didn't move forward. It's not worth it, because they have to know that I'm sitting at the head of the table. If I'm creating the alpha and I'm making them the money, then I get paid. You see what I'm saying? And that's you have to have the word begins with B and it ends with S, but I'm going to say gumption because it's a lot more polite for a mixed company. You have to have the guts to say something like that and look the person in the eye and say, this is how it's going to be. Because at that point, you have to understand you're not using them, but you're using other people's money. So when someone gives you $1 million to run with 2 and 20, or you're at a prop firm and you have that type of line of credit, you're using someone else's money to make you money. That's how you have to think about it. You can't think about how you're making the client money. That has to be incidental. You have to think on a selfish basis in order to find the motivation. Yes, you can be all altruistic and fine, but they're already rich. They have $1 million in a speculative trading account, which is not their sleep tight money. It's not their retirement account. It's not their kid's Section 529 college savings account. It's not their UGMA or their UTMA gift accounts to their kids. It's not their life insurance policy. In a nutshell, it's probably not money they want to lose, but it is kind of more close to their FU money than it is money that if they lost, it would really materially change their quality of life. You see what I'm saying? So when you put all of that in context, what you're really helping them do is to get more of that quality of money. So you have to put things into context, right? So the goal is you're not making friends with these people. You don't want to talk with them every day. You're now running a business and you're using their money as a funding account. You want them to leave you alone. Go away. Don't call me. I'm going to run the money. We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to talk about what I like and what I don't like. I don't need to get your permission because I already have a blanket permission from the client agreement. You see, we can do monthly reviews, right? I don't like to do check-ins every day or every week. So, if allocators who needed to call you every morning to check in, that wouldn't work for me. Even today, I wouldn't do it. Don't want to hear from people. I find it nagging. There's no reason to nag me. I'm a pro. I have an impeccable track record. I have a clean compliance history. I've never been sued, right? So I don't need someone up my ass calling me every day saying, what are we doing? Because the answer is going to be the same every day. I'm just following my rules. You see? So the moral of the story is, with you needing to compete with yourself to get really good track record in terms of performance, which also means low drawdown, there's competition for the money, right? Then there could be competition for things that are external but could be important from a posturing and outsider looking in standpoint, like what's your address, where are you working, that kind of a deal. Letterhead. So it all adds up, right? Because you have to have an image. You have to look professional. And in doing so, those things like having your own office that's separate from where you live costs you money. Getting a nice letterhead that has to be designed, that's going to cost you money. Getting business cards, having any kind of professional looking website, doing lead generation, entertaining potential leads with dinner and drinks or otherwise, traveling to go see those people, it all costs money. So the moral of the story here is that you really have to kind of be willing to do, not kind of, but you have to be willing to do what the other guys are unwilling to do, because lazy gets you those types of results. And that's just how competitive it is. It's competitive on every angle. It starts with you competing against yourself, right? You're not really competing against me. You're not competing against, Mike Bellafiore. You're not competing against the folks at D.E. Shaw or Millennium or any other place. You're competing against yourself. And that means, can you execute what you promised you would execute to yourself? Can you not be stupid and take flyers because you're acting out emotionally, right? And so when you're willing to do what the other person is willing to do, a lot of magical things happen to yourself. You get to see what you're really made of. You get to look at the track record of your history and see to yourself, well, I can go back now and see when I had the opportunity to be a bonehead, I didn't do that. You see? I acted like a pro. I stuck to my knitting. I knew what the expected value was. I know if I'm up, 25 points or so on a particular trade, I can kind of guess what the expected value is based on the mathematics, right? So I know how to manage the risk at that moment in time, because the odds might change once you're in the trade. So you have to act accordingly. Most people are unwilling to do that because they're more concerned, like we talked about yesterday, the short-term gratification. So that costs them on so many levels. It costs them their soul in many levels, even if they're making money. And now if you can understand that, you're onto something, because now you can go apply that to your own behavior. In the coaching program, we don't let you hide anywhere. You have to face the music. You don't have to tell me the answers, because I never ask people to divulge personal things like, where do they live? What kind of car they drive? If their mom is single? No, just kidding. I don't care about your mom. But can you do the things that other people are unwilling to do? Because that's a huge differentiating factor. And I don't mean just talking about it. That's all bullshit and peacocking. You don't want to be that guy. Don't be the guy who's got a big mouth and talks tough and can say all the famous quotes. They're flaccid. They don't get anything done. It's just all hat and no cattle. So do the work that other folks are unwilling to do, right? And even if you're kind of stuck, shoot me an email. If nothing else, I'll point you in the right direction. I can't get into full-on coaching, but I can certainly point you in the right direction if you need help that way. So self-discovery then becomes one of the most important assets that you have, because you're constantly evaluating your own behavior as if, you were your own teacher in grade school and you were going to speak to your parents about how you behaved in class. Did you get your homework done? Are you contributing, right? Are you helping your classmates? Are you answering questions? That kind of stuff without being disruptive, right? So that's very, very important, I think, for human beings, never mind for improving as a trader. You have to look at all of your behavior, because you are the sum total of all your actions, okay? You could also say something about the environment that you're in and the people that you've surrounded yourself with, but that would take this and double the length of the episode, so I don't want to do that. Anyway, if anything here has resonated with you, please like and subscribe. Click the bell thingy like Ganja says. I'll be with him tomorrow. And it's super hot here, so I might elect to go for a short sleeve shirt because it's like 1,000 degrees, even with the AC. And I appreciate you all being here very much. And I'll see you tomorrow, Ganja. Okay, everybody, thanks for being here. Please take a minute, like and subscribe to the show. You could also leave a comment. I don't have all the answers, so it's good to get some feedback. Also, if you would like to support the show, check out the links below. You can get the free audiobook of The Inner Voice of Trading, and also information about the course that I teach with Victor Sperandio. Thanks for being here, folks. I'll see you tomorrow.